Going on, everybody? Quaku here with another video. Recently, it looks as if the Xbox beta app and the Xbox app itself were merged together, so now there's a new experience. Let's take a look to see if it's even worth downloading and what you can do with it. Welcome back. So here we have the Xbox application, or what used to be called the Xbox beta application. Now, it is kind of confusing because this is called Xbox, and yet on Windows 10 as well, you have an application called Console Companion, Xbox Console Companion, and Xbox Console Companion used to be called Xbox as well, and I guess they swapped the names and changed it. But this application still is more of a Game Pass companion versus a console companion, because there are some features that the console companion application does not have. Has that this does not. In fact, there's quite a few features, but this is just more simplified looking and things like that. Another thing you're going to notice in this video is that this application is one of the worst optimized applications I've ever seen in the history of me looking at applications. This application crashes all the time. In fact, it might crash during this video and you guys will see it firsthand. But going forward, you see here you have this banner image. This one is advertising play Ori and the Will of the Wisps for $4.99 and 100 plus PC games and new ones added all the time. So this is advertising Game Pass because it is $4.99. And the annoying thing that you have here, because you see here, if you keep clicking through or swiping through, you can change and see what pictures they're showing. But the one annoying thing they don't have is a way for you a way that the application can just simply constantly scroll through each picture. Like, they should just do a sliding banner where the pictures every couple seconds, maybe 5 seconds, scrolls through. That would make it much simpler to do. But I guess they didn't come up with that idea yet. This app is clearly still in beta because in the Microsoft Store, when you're updating it, it shows it as Xbox beta, but yet when you see it at the bottom of the start bar, it actually shows up as just Xbox, and in your Windows 10 it shows up as just Xbox, which doesn't make any sense, but that's what you get. But going down more before it crashes, because I know it will, recently added you have here. So you have the recently added recently added games that were added to Game Pass. So you got to keep that in your head, that this application is not necessarily Xbox. This application is a Game Pass thing. So I'm going to click on Streets of Rage, for example, because I heard that was really good. Let's see if it works. Okay, so Streets of Rage, and then you see here, it's kind of slow. Streets of Rage here, let me pause it before copyright hits. You can see play with Game Pass, and you can see this here. It says full details, and then you can see more trailers and screenshots, and you can see achievement info. Then if you keep scrolling down, you can see it says discover your favorite game. It's trying to advertise you to buy Game Pass for PC, but in a later video, I'll tell you a secret. If you are a Lego customer, that you can pretty much have Game Pass all you want, and you really aren't spending a dime of separate money on Game Pass. Most popular is the next area here, so I guess these are the most popular games that are on Game Pass. Sea of Thieves. It's ironic that you'll have Microsoft first-party first-party title as the most popular title on Game Pass. I don't know if this is actually true that Sea of Thieves is that popular for Game Pass, but I guess it is. You got your Streets of Rage 4 because it just came out, and then you got Gears 5 and Totally Accurate Battle Simulator game preview. Going down, it says here, what will you play next? So if you click Surprise Me, it will actually shuffle through all the games in Game Pass and recommend a game for you to play. And it's ironic that this first game here ended up being another first-party title from Microsoft Studios. So let's see what happens if I click it again. Will it be another first-party title? Okay, this one is from Deep Silver, Metro 2033 Redux. So you can see here, it shuffles through everything that Microsoft Game Pass has, and it just gives you a random game if you just want a simple game to play. And you can just shuffle it for you, which is cool, and it looks nice. It's very nicely presented. But again, it could be better. Like you see here, this Surprise Me area, it kind of looks like low res where it says Surprise Me. I don't know whether it's their font style that they chose for this application, but it needs something. It needs a little TLC. Xbox Live games, you can see here games that are compatible with Xbox Live, and that means I guess, games that you can play online with Xbox Live. See, it says multiplayer, Xbox Live Online, Xbox Live Online, Xbox Live Online. So all these games are Xbox Live compatible games. And for some reason, this Xbox Live's local co-op counts as Xbox Live. I mean, they all do if they are Game Pass. So you can see Xbox Live games there, and you can click on each tab, which I'll go through in a second. All games, you can see all the games that Game Pass has. You got your perks, so it says Game Pass Ultimate, and get extra stuff for free, like add-ons, consumables, and partner offers. So it's really just a giant marketing application. It is decently nice looking, but it is really just a big plug for Game Pass. So don't let that name Xbox like make you think that this is the Xbox application for Windows 10. Currently, it really isn't. There's another application called Console Companion, and that really is the original, and that is the one that if you have an Xbox One and you just want to buy a game, you can do that much easier on the Console Companion one, although it is bloated. So then down at the bottom you have genre, so you can click on whatever genre you're interested in. So went through the home page, and let's go on top here. So we have Game Pass as the Game Pass tab. Now let's go over to social. So if I click on social, you can see all of my friends here, all the social people. Feel free to add me. I'm trying to get an Xbox One X again, because I only have the regular Xbox One, but I'm trying to get back into it. I have a PS4 right now. But you can see all your friends here and who's online and then who's offline. You can see chat here. So if you click on chat, you can see all the chats that you've been through and how many message requests you have. And if you click on message requests, you get all of the message requests. A lot of the message requests are going to end up being like spam for some reason, because even on PlayStation, there's a lot of spam that comes around for messages. It's just random. It's really weird the way messaging is. But that's pretty much that. You can search for your friends, and you can also add more friends, and also you can just start a chat. So if you click start a chat, it'll let you click on each friend, and then you can add them. So then going over to the store tab, that gets away from the Game Pass tab and brings you to the store tab. Now, take note also that a lot of the games that you can buy on this application, you can actually also buy on the Microsoft Store app. So, it'd be kind of the same thing. So like Sea of Thieves, for example, let's just click on it. So if you got Sea of Thieves here, if you want to play it with Game Pass, you can play it with Game Pass, or you can buy it for $39.99. So it does let you buy the game, which is pretty good. But just note that I still recommend that you just buy it on the Microsoft Store app if it's like especially a first party title that will be available on the Microsoft Store app. But then going through, you see the title, you see the what studio made it, and it actually allows you to click on what studio made it and see other games that they made. So if I click Microsoft Studios, you can search for Microsoft Studios and you can see all the games published by Microsoft Studios, like Age of Empires, one of my favorites. And then let's go back. So then you have your genre. You can do the same thing. You can see the ratings, how many ratings, friends who play, the actual rating for ESRB, why it's rated that. You can see offers, in-app purchases, and all that stuff, pictures, videos, all the information you could possibly want. And there's the crash right there. So you see the game, that the application just crashed. Now that I am back after that crash that suddenly happened out of nowhere, maybe it didn't like what I was saying. Going back to the store, you can see, you have the same banner, and actually this banner here looks different. It has arrows here. So this has the arrows that you can easily click back and forth. Meanwhile, you go back to the Game Pass tab and you find that same thing, and you actually don't have those arrows, which is strange. I don't get it. But I guess it works. It does its job. But going back, we're going to go back to Sea of Thieves, and now we can see the information that Sea of Thieves gives us. Gives you the amount of space it takes up. It gives you who's streaming the games that you are doing. So you can see the top live, and you can see the past clips on there, and you can see more in Mixer, which is just open up your browser. And then the comments, all the comments, you're just going to see the comments. Sea of Thieves is a little different kind of game, so you might see some crazy comments on there. Then you got achievements. So obviously I haven't played Sea of Thieves, so I don't have any achievements for them. But if you have any achievements done for Sea of Thieves, you'll see them listed here, and it'll just show you what you did to do that achievement, which is pretty dope. Keep going through. You can see what other people liked. Another first-party studio game, which is actually all of these are first-party. You can see that Forza is there, as people also liked for some reason. You played Sea of Thieves and now you want to play Forza. And then you can see from the developer little videos and little things that the developer posts, similar to like on Steam, where you can see like updates from the developer and things like that. And you can see all the views that it has. So that's pretty cool overall. And then you can see here the system requirements. Again, this is something similar to the Microsoft Store, where it gives you the system requirements for whatever you're looking at, and this one has those system requirements on there. Somehow it only requires an i3 for its recommended, which is quite crazy. That's wild. I'm running an i7 right now. And yeah, so that's like the game page overall. You can see what things that the application requires or the game requires, whether you can install it on Xbox home console or your PC. And yeah, so it's a pretty well thought out application. It just has a lot of crashes. Again, it's got a lot of crashes. Now that we're back for the third time, because another crash just happened, you can see that the application is very poorly optimized for Windows 10. It just doesn't work well at all. It's really laggy. And I'm running 16 gigs of RAM and an i7, like a 9th gen i7 in here with the RTX GPU. Like, there's no reason for it to crash this much when an indie developer can make an application that runs perfectly smooth and it works perfectly, if you've seen my other videos. But going back to the whole application itself, search for games, you have that on top. You can search for whatever game you want. So if you want like, I don't know, let's look for Dead Cells, since I see it at the bottom there. So let's see if it searches or if it crashes. So if we want Dead Cells, I can search for it, and then you can see here, yep, you got Dead Cells. You can see how much it costs with Game Pass. So what that means when you see how much it costs with Game Pass, it means if you have a Game Pass subscription, you typically get a discount on games. What looks here, it looks like you get about $4 discount on games, $4 to $5. So Dead Cells, you get a discount on it. And you can see all the DLC for Dead Cells and all that stuff. It's not a bad game. I played it before. It's pretty good. And yeah, so going over to the next one, you got your notifications. So here you can see the notifications that come up with on your thing. So you see I have some alerts. You can see some updates that happen, new games and things like that. And then you can see your profile. So your profile page lets you see your actual full profile, the settings of the application, the games that you own, your wish list, support a creator, feedback, appear offline and sign out. Obviously I'm never signing out because this is just my Microsoft account. So if I go over to view profile, so you can see here, view profile, it still shows your friends list. It's kind of like the social tab in a way, but it shows your friends list and then it shows your profile. So you can see here I played Minecraft and some other games, Shadow of War. Kind of behind of the times just because I don't use my Xbox as much as I used to. But you can see games not only from Xbox, but from like, if you sign into your Windows 10 computer with your Microsoft account, you can set it so that way whatever game you're playing on, whatever platform you're playing on, so like Steam or whatever, your friends can see that you're playing it. So like you can set it like you've been playing Path of Exile or Dragon Ball Z Kakarot or Final Fantasy and stuff. Because yeah, so it's pretty cool like that. The one interesting thing is here, when you see this right here, the Spyro, I don't have Spyro on Xbox, but I can't tell, but it looks as if this is the Xbox banner on top of it. I guess that's just a picture they imported. But this is actually Spyro from Steam, so that's very strange. In fact, all of these games are from Steam, not from Xbox. And this is just Minecraft by itself. So yeah, there's a whole lot to this. I don't want to run the video up too long, but there's a whole lot to this application. You can let the people in the world know where you are if you want to do that kind of thing. You can change your profile picture if you just click on that edit logo right up here, and you can see just your overall status online. Going back, you can also change your background and so on. And going back here, we have your settings here. So if I click settings, you can see the settings that I have. Good thing it doesn't show sensitive info. And you can see what accounts you want to link to your Microsoft account. So you can see linked accounts. I just have my Twitch, account linked to it. Maybe I'll link Steam to it, and that's about it. But you can see all the information that you need to see, and you can scroll down and see more. And again, it's still trying to get you to buy Game Pass at any point possible. So it's kind of intrusive in that way. And then you can see the other options, like automatically launch app at startup, keep the app running when you close it, hide the app in system tray. Now, one thing you're going to want to uncheck, and I highly recommend you uncheck for pretty much every application, is this button here, this automatically launch on startup. So I'm going to uncheck that because it kind of uses up some resources and makes your startup slower, even if you're using a SSD like I am. So it's got a whole bunch of little things. Then you can see where the app installs games by default and so on. Going to notifications here, you said notify changes if changes are made to the Game Pass catalog. So if you really just want to see every game that comes out for Game Pass, and there's always games coming out, you can keep that on, and it's on by default, but I'm actually going to uncheck that. It says notify when I receive a message, notify when someone adds me as a friend. You can keep those on. I'll just keep those on. And then they have Game Pass for mobile. So basically, it's just a QR code you download, and it allows you to just scan it with your phone or whatever device you have that has a camera and download that program, that application, and basically allows you to remotely download games to your PC from your phone. And it supports like all the major platforms out there, which is pretty cool. And then we're getting near the end, going to the audio. So you can see here, this audio applies to, if you're in a party chat. So if you're in a party chat, you can set the settings. I'm not going to change the settings for these, but you can set the settings of what your input and output device are. So output device being like, are you using headphones to listen into what people are saying, and what are you using to speak to people? In my case, it's a Yeti microphone, but I'm not going to select that, otherwise it'll like ruin this recording. You can set the voice volume, so you can set your voice volume, and you can set whether you want to do push to talk. So that way you press a key, and then it just allows you to talk instead of it always listening to you talking. And then lastly, we go to about. You can see the version that it is, and you can see the mouse is kind of jerking around like this. It's not really smooth. Again, I don't know what's going on with this application, but it crashes a lot, and it's very poorly optimized. So even the mouse runs really slowly, even though I'm able to run games at like 4K. Because it's a 2070 RTX Max Q. So yeah, there's a lot in this application. It's kind of bloated to me. It kind of does too much. I think if Microsoft wanted to advertise Game Pass like that, I think what they should have done was they should have just called it Game Pass. Because you can see here now the mouse is speeding up actually, now that I'm out of the settings screen. But for some reason before, when it was showing the friends list, my mouse was really jerking around, and even now it's not really that smooth, and so it's kind of strange. And then lastly, we're just going to see this icon here. So if you click that, it just shows you all games, installed games, queue, and so on. So if I want to click installed games, basically you'll see them listed here if I've installed any Xbox games, which I haven't because I don't have that much space on this laptop anymore. But yeah, so in a nutshell, that is the Xbox app for Windows 10. It says it's out of beta on some areas of your computer. On the Microsoft Store, it says it's still in beta. On your computer, it says that it is, because it's called the Xbox app, it is the main Xbox application that you should use, even though I still say you should just use the Xbox Console Companion application. Yeah, there's a lot. It's very buggy. Microsoft, please, if you want people to use this application, please fix it. And then Microsoft, another thing, I can't even read this that well. It says play the Outer Worlds for $4.99, but you got a complete white area around here. The logo, the design looks nice, but like optimize your text so you can actually read what you're saying, not have to like guess what it's saying. So, because not everyone's as bright as everybody else. But yeah, so I had a lot of negative things to say about this application, and overall, I think if I was to give it a rating out of 5, I think I give it like, it works, but it works poorly. I give it like a 2 or 2.5, because the fact that it crashed 3 times when I was trying to use it just to speak to you guys about it, and the fact that it's too much advertising to it, and it's kind of poorly optimized for like the mouse to even like function on it. It's just not good for the average person, because this computer I'm using here is a Razer Blade 2019 advanced model, 16 gigs of RAM, an M.2 SSD, and as well as I have like an RTX 2070 Max Q design. It should be able to open this program perfectly fine, and it just keeps crashing on me. It's so many issues. So Microsoft, please fix this if you want people to use it as your future application for Series X and further. So yeah, I hope you guys like this video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. We're almost at 20. That milestone for me is very good. You know, it's very like memorable for me because it took a while for my last channel to hit that amount, and this is going along very smoothly. So thank you all for everything you've done. So my name is Kwaku, and take care, everybody.